Welcome to my audit lab, where audit meets wisdom with a sprinkle of charm. You know that moment when you walk into a room and the tension is thicker than a Marvel movie plot, and you can almost hear the inner monologue of the auditee? Ah, here comes the villain in a suit. Well, I have. That's the feeling you get when dealing with a difficult auditee. But just because there's tension doesn't mean you can't flip the script into an epic redemption story. In fact, that's where good auditors shine. Because we've got the tools to turn frustrations into collaboration faster than you can say teamwork makes the dream work. Let me hit you with a real-life story. Dark and mysterious to begin with, but a satisfying twist in the end. The head of IT at this mid-sized telco was a grumpy old cat. Arms crossed, eyes narrowed, typical. Why do you need this? What are you trying to find out? What are you going to try to achieve? There's nothing wrong here. You just don't understand our processes, etc., etc. And he refused to hand over critical information because he thought it was irrelevant to the audit. And worst, his team started slowing the info flow and on occasions, even sanitizing it. Instead of going full Hulk smash, we decided to pull a charm attack. Rather than demanding the documentation again, I politely asked him, so what's been your biggest frustration with past audits? And maybe you can help us improve our offering. He started talking angrily and frustratingly, not just about the audit, but also about his team's struggles with past auditors in their handling of issues and also of people. He wasn't entirely right or wrong, but the point wasn't to win the argument. The point was to give him space to vent, get it all out of himself, and to show him that internal audit was listening. I paraphrased his concerns to make him feel understood, offered a few solutions, and requested others from his team. We started slowly moving from a tense standoff to a willingness to collaborate. Awkward smiles and lingering doubts, but also a desire to move forward. You see, you don't need magic or superpowers to be able to deal with difficult auditees, just effective communication. And sometimes that means listening and appearing to agree more than debating and convincing. It's all about tact. And here's the secret sauce. Empathy is your lightsaber. When you put yourself in their shoes, you turn a battle into a productive discussion. Just try saying, I get why this might feel overwhelming, and watch them go from Darth Vader to Yoda. Break the ice. Don't be afraid to drop a light comment like, I've been an auditee in my past life, and believe me, I get your frustration. Skip the monologue. Instead of why didn't you follow the protocol, try what challenges have you encountered with this protocol. Let the conversation flow. Pay close attention to tone, intent, and sentiments as much as you do to words themselves. It will tell you if the problem is the audit, the people, or just history. You don't have to be a hostage negotiator to find common ground. Even small things like, I see we both want the best for this process. Let's figure out how to get there together, can build bridges where there were once walls. Don't go full Breaking Bad and match tension with tension. Keep your voice steady, your demeanor neutral, stance open, do not cross your arms. It suggests nerves or defensiveness. Put your hands on the table, palms down, where they can see them pointing forwards. Don't ask me how, but research proves that it tricks their brains to feel safe and comfortable in your presence if they can see your hands. Do not smile needlessly, it feels sarcastic and belittling. And keep your voice zen. Your calm may just stop a storm. Difficult customer situations can take a toll on even the best auditors. Feel free to pause and take a moment to collect your thoughts. Better slowly navigate the potholes than swiftly crash into them. Shift from what went wrong to how we can fix it. It's the difference between living in the past and taking a one-way ticket to future sitting. If the exchange identifies anything that you or your team could have done differently, own up to it, gracefully apologize, and put in measures to make amends. You're humans, nobody expects you to be perfect. An auditor who's not willing to identify weaknesses in him or his team and make amends can't do it for others either. Your responses should not be general and unsubstantiated, like, I heard the IT team has been mostly unresponsive on outlier queries, because that's just bad auditing. Take a moment and check if you need to, but always provide thoughtful responses and accurate information. For example, we've requested this info twice, and it has been delayed by 4 days on each occasion, or had incomplete data source info in it. It shows you mean business. But if you don't have answers, commit to checking and getting back to them. At the end of the day, the audit is not about pleasing the auditee, but about doing what's right for the company. So I prefer not to set high expectations. For example, creating detailed delivery SLAs, because it'll shift the focus on SLA management when they are not met. Once agreed, map out and communicate the next steps, including the protocols in terms of update meetings, attendees, and escalation procedures. And if worst comes to worst, without productive headway, escalate. You've earned it by now. Here's a few common pitfalls to always avoid. Discuss and debate ideas and processes, not people. Auditors are supposed to be master people managers. Don't come across as someone who can't handle them. There's a fine line between arguing your perspective and discussing process changes. Stay clear of it. Don't assume you know why they're acting difficult. That's bad auditing. Ask questions to get to the bottom of it, like Matlock uncovering a plot. And the best part, these skills are superpowers for life, not just for audits. Handling strain with grace is how you win in life. Dealing with family drama to office politics. When someone's upset, instead of going full Thanos, give them space to vent and ask, what's really bothering you? The answer may surprise you and bring balance to the relationship. Whether you're negotiating with a tough boss or haggling like a pro on eBay, empathy and understanding turns opposition into cooperation. When your kid's throwing a tantrum like it's the final act of Avengers Endgame, ask why don't you want to do this instead of an authoritative showdown. You might get to the root of the issue before they snap their fingers. Handling difficult oddities is like a dance. You need to lead with empathy, grace, and a little finesse. And remember, if you can handle a tough oddity, you're basically a superhero in your personal life too. Thanks for tuning into My Audit Lab. Stay sharp and keep auditing.